Dean, speaking of, we mentioned, what's his name now? I'm sorry, Trevor Noah is the new, supposed to be the new host of the Daily Show.
I just missed. I was 177 on the list.
I was right below you, I think.
You're 178. You were,
yeah, my friend said, hey, that kid's going to get fired before he starts. I think you still got a chance. I'm like, no, I don't, but thank you. Yeah, obviously a lot of controversy with his Twitter stuff being anti-Semitic, anti-woman. What was your take on it?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm not defending any kind of anti-Semitic or misogynist tweets.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is look at it in the context of the guy sent out like almost 9,000 tweets, and a lot of these tweets are from 4 and 5 years ago. The one thing I will put in the context, and I'm not defending it, just in context, he lived in South Africa. When I've done comedy shows outside of the United States, issues of race are not treated as like the third rail that they are here in America. You do jokes in the Middle East, not bashing race, but when you talk about race, it doesn't resonate. It's not sort of like on the undercurrent of so much of our conversations, or it's not polarizing as much. It's just not talked about. So that's the only thing I can think of. But in my heart, I'll be honest, I don't think Jon Stewart and Doug Herzog, who's the president of comedies of Viacom, who was involved in the choosing Trevor, picked an anti-Semite. I do not think that those men are going to pick an anti-Semitic person. And ultimately, at the end of the day, even the ADL said, look, we understand comedians do this kind of stuff, and we hope he doesn't do this on his show, like attack Jews. And if he did, I think he'd be gone in days. And if other people came forward now and said, look, he's an anti-Semite, or he's truly a horribly misogynistic person, and the human beings came up and said, I deal with this guy, he's horrible, I think that would elevate this to the point of maybe actually having a discussion that he should be replaced, to be honest. This is literally 5 or 6 tweets we've seen over 6 years of 8,000 tweets. I think this is going to go away now at this point. I wrote an article before the thing exploded about some conservative websites picking out one tweet he sent about Israel and calling him anti-Israel because he did a joke on Twitter. And my article came out, and then all this other explosion of Twitter stuff. So my thing got kind of bulldozed under the point I was making about it. So if you're a comedian in today's world, I mean, you get any tweet you've ever said, any stupid comment ever, you become famous. It becomes like evidence, like an exhibit in a trial.
Oh, yeah.
It's very challenging. I mean, to be honest.
Damn that Twitter and that YouTube. I'll never be able to do anything after this.
This is but isn't it like, if someone, why can't we be adults, frankly, though? If somebody is saying something demonizing, we know the difference between that and being playful and telling a joke that might be politically incorrect or off color. If he had done 3 jokes about Muslims that I thought were offensive over 5 years, I probably would say, I'm concerned about this guy. I wonder if he hates Muslims. But let's see where it goes. I mean, I just look at the other side.
So,
no,
you're right.
I would not be happy about it. I would say, hey, I'm troubled by this, but I'm not going to call a guy a Muslim hater because of 3 tweets over 5 years, unless some other Muslims came forward or other people he worked with and said, this guy, oh my God, he's demonizing Muslims every day. Then I'd be like, come on.
Listen, my happy hour podcast has made me completely unemployable in any fashion for the rest of my life.
Because that's all on tape forever.
Yeah, like if I had gotten the Daily Show, they would have gotten like 30 seconds into the first happy hour. Like, no.
Computer says no.
No,
if you got
she's fired.
The Daily Show host, Fox News would have exploded. It literally would have like, boom. Hannity's head would have just gone crazy.
Yes.
And there would have been a lot of carnage if Hannity's ginormous Fred Flintstone had exploded. So that's why I think they were wise.
Scanners.
Yeah, like scanners.
It was unbelievable. No, I mean, most TV does a good job. I mean, in the beginning, more of the people were saying they saw a special, they thought he was okay, not great. And that's a whole different discussion. That's fair, and that's going to be a question. But
one comedian said I was offended as a comedian because they weren't funny. I hope he has good writers, but I don't know. I didn't read all of them.
I fell asleep with the TV on last night. I happened to wake up when the Daily Show was on, and he was serving as the senior international correspondent. I'm like, he's okay. Probably could use a little more charisma. I don't know.
I think that's I got to say, it's going to be tough. Anybody takes over for Jon Stewart.
I know some inside stuff because I have some friends who do stuff at the Daily Show and some famous people, and I can't say their names. Mm-hmm. I honestly can't. Were offered the gig, and they said no.
Oh.
So it got to the point where people who have an established track record knew what they were going to follow, Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
And it became a decision where they're going to have to go with someone, frankly, who is unknown but a lot of potential, who has some familiarity with the audience. And obviously if John Oliver hadn't left, he would be the heir apparent to the show, but he had left already. And I think it really came down to, so people going, why didn't they offer the famous people? They talked to a lot of the famous people, and many of them said no.
Yeah.
And so
Well, because it is. It's like the death seat following Jon Stewart. Yes. They see. I was dumb enough when they offered me my late night show. They're like, "Would you like to go up against Leno and Letterman?" I'm like, "Yes. I bet I have a really good chance." Right? No. Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, and that could have taken. Who knew though? You would do it today if they offered you a show today. When you say, "Sure," you're an adult. You understand it'll be hard. But you have confidence in yourself. You have an amazing skill set. Maybe it could work. Maybe it could be a huge hit.
And they back a Brinks truck full of money up to your driveway and dump it on there.
I feel like a Who in Whoville, like I don't exist. Like with all these articles about how come there wasn't a woman, there's never been a woman in late night. I'm like, me, I was 1995.
For 12 weeks.
13 weeks.
12 weeks.
All right.
If I knew you wanted that job, I would have written an article for the Daily Beast. I'm not even kidding. By why Stephanie Miller should be hosting the Daily Show.
Aww.
One of your wives.
A lot of stuff. I'm sincere. I think you objectively speaking, you would be great. There's no doubt.
Thank you, Angel.
Within their internal dynamics of how they do things with metrics and demographics and everything, that's a different issue. But objectively, you would do a great job. There's no doubt.
Thank
you would be
Angel.
great.
But I told Chris when all that speculation started, I'm like, they're not hiring me. They're hiring a young guy. Trust me, they're going to hire.
And you were right. And that's exactly. And my friend Asif Manvi, who was on the show for years, who's still there as senior correspondent, it became clear to him right away. He wasn't even trying for it, frankly. He's an actor. He's on a new HBO show this summer coming out called Brink, but he's still part of the Daily Show. But he knew right away they were going with someone younger. So he didn't really want it.
Well, I would have bought an international coalition, including Dino Badala, Carlos Alzraki, a whole, United Colors of Benetton comedy, but whatever.
That would have been great. And Fugelsang could have done audience warm-up.
Yes.
Oh, no. He would be the ecclesiastical mook as always. Dean, great stuff. Great piece on all this.